with any change and with any transformation, you have the people who are the sort of the advocates surfing the wave, and then you have the others who are just, I want to wait and see what happens. I want to take an approach. So you've got the sort of cautious versus cavalier approach. My question is, which of those is riskier?
The truth is somewhere in the middle. So, the people who I kind of recently been saying, the two biggest mistakes people make with AI, the first one is they overestimate it, and the second one is they underestimate it.
Yes.
So it's a question of, look, this is a massively powerful tool. It's so many different things to different people. And it's not like the other technologies we've seen before. We need to think differently about what it means. And I think it's moving so fast that, yes, it's a huge challenge. And what you thought it couldn't do last week, it can do this week. So it's very hard, I think, to have find the right pace, but you've got to try. So I think if you're unwilling to take risks, if you're unwilling to invest time, you will fail. At the same time, you can't assume that just by doing AI, suddenly it will solve all of your problems. And I mean, I tried to make this sound probably more thought through than it was, but I was doing a slide for a presentation, and I always wanted to have a theorem or an equation named after me, and nobody did it, so I did it myself. And I said, like, my first equation is that AI is not greater than HS, where HS stands for human stupidity. We can't assume it's going to solve our problems if we're doing silly things. We need to embrace it in a clever way. We need to be informed. We need to understand. And I've invented another technical phrase where I think AI is messy. It's not simple. We need to understand there will be bumps in the road. There will be projects that will fail, but we can't not start embracing it. We can't not learn, because it would be, as you say, it would be like throwing out the calculator and saying, well, look, I'm just going to stick with my abacus for a while because it works. And we're at that level now of saying we have to take the time, do it right, not rush in, not get sucked into believing that it solves everything for everybody, but that it is an absolutely massive opportunity to do it right.
Yeah, and I guess that comes down to some extent, as you said, it's the fear of failure is then just creates an inertia of never doing anything, doesn't it? And you have to have that sort of test and learn, or I don't like the expression fail fast, but I know what it means, in terms of.
I think, it's definitely one of those things where we need to be honest about it and say it has massive potential, but it will fail at certain tasks at certain times. And if you go into it knowing that, that's a huge advantage. And I think the other point that I'll finish talking now on is that I think it's also really important to say AI is not the only game in town. There are plenty of other things out there that, the data that you are gathering, AI may not be the perfect solution for your particular business need right now. I was talking to a CTO in a big retailer, and he was quite uninterested in technical AI. What he was interested in was robotics. He said, that's going to solve my business problem. I need to have robots doing tasks that I can't get humans to do. And he said, if you want to call that AI, that's fine, but it's not AI in a kind of generative AI sense. I think, again, we need to make sure that we understand the differences across sectors. The focus shouldn't be AI is a tool. We shouldn't do it just because it's cool to do AI. We need to be using our data to build our AI to solve our problems.
So it comes back to purpose at that point, is what are you trying to do in the first instance rather than what shiny tool are you trying to use? Fantastic.